Hey guys, welcome to my new series, Hell for Dummies. We're going to be going over every room in Hell over the course of this series using level 1 characters. And though for most of these videos I will probably be using a ranger or a wizard, I will touch on the melee strats. I find range to be the easiest to go into Hell solo with for obvious reasons, but I will do my best to go over those melee strats. So let's hop right into the build. We only have the one perk unlocked, but for abilities, we're gonna go ahead and take triple shot and rations, because triple shot is OP and rations will help us survive solo. Quick reload, I think, saves quite a bit of time, so we're gonna go ahead and grab that as our perk. And we are gonna hop right into high roller as well, just to show that it's doable. There is no hell on solos or duos yet, so I'm just gonna hop right in. Now, a big thing that we're gonna see a lot is just time save strats. I'm always gonna be moving. I don't want to waste a single second because there's only one of me and there's 3 of every other team. I hope that I don't run into anybody else, honestly, because the point of the video is just to navigate hell. And seeing that there's 3 of everyone else and only 1 of me, I have to move 3 times quicker than them. So we're going to give Otto a good luck pet, and we'll be on our way. Alright, so I spawned really close to the edge of the map and accidentally immediately used my ability, which is cool. But I just used them to break these pots. This is kind of important. You're going to see me always pick up my arrows because the starting character doesn't have any money. I wasn't able to buy any extra arrows, and so I only have the 40 arrows that I'm supplied with right at the beginning of the game. And as you'll see later, it takes 30 to 40 arrows to kill some hell mobs, so we're going to conserve those as much as possible. I'm going to go ahead and head up into this room because it's inside the storm circle, and I know that it's decently easy to clear. I also know of a couple of cheese spots where you can stand up on the clipping and things can't pathfind to you, but I'm going to try to do mostly everything, at least until I get to hell, legit. So this is not only going to be a tutorial on hell, but probably also just how to deal with these mobs if you're playing on high roller by yourself. So as a ranger, you can see it's pretty easy to just sidestep those mobs right there. As a melee, dealing with the rangers or the crossbowmen and the archers can be a tad bit more difficult because you have to sidestep and measure every shot and dodge every single shot, or block it with your shield. But you can see for the melee minions, I bait out attacks. That's basically the entire flow of this entire game, is you bait out the attack, you dodge it, and then you respond with an attack of your own. People all the time say, oh, we're under geared, we can't go into high roller. And then I say, oh, I'm going to hell in high roller, and they say, you're insane, and they leave the party. Well, I think it's insane to settle for anything less than the most amount of loot that you can possibly get. So I start looting it up. I pretty much immediately start getting, not kitted, but definitely something to increase my survivability. Okay, here you're going to see one of the pathfinding glitches. You can just look for these all over the place. I can see that there's these coffins on the ground and this lamp he probably can't fit through, so he's going to have to walk around. And all I have to do is step left and right. If you look for these pathfinding glitches, kind of anywhere, exploits, I guess you could call them, not a glitch. They're gonna help you a lot in the long run. I know it sounds kind of wussy to use those, but it's almost built into the game's mechanics and difficulty at this point, which I think is pretty self-aware, but also pretty cool of them. So I'm just gonna loot up this room and try to get as much of a loadout as I can before I actually head down into hell. And oh look, I got a cookie, so that's nice. Also going to pick up some more blue items just to sell. As of the most recent update too, the blue items sell for a lot more than they used to, or just higher quality items sell for a lot more. I also pick up an upgraded bow, which is very nice. It doesn't do that much more damage, only does a little bit more damage, but that's going to help me save just a couple of arrows, and hopefully stop me from running out of arrows. But at the same time, it should work with just a normal bow. And that bow is only green, so it only has a slight damage buff. But I did get lucky with that. So I can see that this little octopus area up to my north on the mini-map, with the 8 arms, I know there's a red portal near there, but I can't remember exactly where it's at. I do know that this is a pretty hot spot for PvP though, and seeing that it's right on the edge of the storm, I'm very careful going in here. I do see that it's not looted though. Most of the mobs are not spawned, which is cool. When I hear this mob spawn though, I don't really want to deal with it, because I know if I mess around in this room too long, a bunch of mobs spawn in the middle. So a lot of what I do is off-map knowledge, and that's really important. Just the more you play the game, the better you get to learn the map, and the easier it'll be to navigate. Just gonna lock that skeleton in there, and in case anybody heard me, because I did hear enemy footsteps, I'm gonna go ahead and trap this door as well. Now we're gonna go ahead and move around here. This is one of my favorite hell portals. I go through it like all the time. Yeah, I find a couple of these death heads. These death heads like to drop pendants, but no such luck this time. So, considering that I'm not in the game for PvP right now, I'm going to go ahead and dark right here. I have a trap on my 6 o'clock. I'm going to go ahead and put a trap at my 12 o'clock here, and we're going to go ahead and just rat it out. Now, something I see a lot out of new players, and even veteran players who haven't thought about it that well, is they get really afraid of that storm circle. Now, as opposed to other battle royales, the storm circle in this game, I would venture to say, is not scary at all. It looks scarier than the other games, but the thing is that tick damage that I'm taking is all recoverable health. As opposed to when an enemy hits you, I think they deal something like 75% recoverable health and like 25% unrecoverable health. But you can see that there's like this light red in my bar, and all that recoverable health you can just kind of rest off. Now in this situation, I am sitting to mitigate the storm damage, because it lets me recover health as I'm taking tick damage, so that just increases my longevity in the storm. Now when you get up, you mess up your rest. I lost all that recoverable health, but that's fine because I have those rations. Now this is just a ranger strat. Any other class, if you really want to survive in the storm like this, you're probably going to have to bring a campfire. And I would just sit next to the campfire every time your health gets maybe around 50%. You pop down a campfire, sit back down, and I would just stay sitting for as long as possible as well to mitigate that tick damage. Now, I wouldn't say that this is actually always the strat. This isn't like the strat that I normally take. It's just I don't want to run into any other players, and I happen to be a ranger. If you're any other class, you might as well just work your way towards the center, especially if you're level 1, because you literally have nothing to lose. And even though you might and probably will run into other players and maybe die, you could just try again. And I promise the hell loot will make it all worth it. Alright, so we got a really interesting spawn. Blood platforms perhaps is one of the best spawns for a ranger. It's pretty easy. You can see on the map there's these 2 rectangles that are separate from the rest of the map. I'm just going to run over to the one on the north side and start taking out that archer in the middle by the resurrection table. That's really important. You have to take out that archer first, because once he's aggroed, he will not leave you alone. However, when you're standing on this particular platform, he can't pathfind to you, so he can't come over to you. Okay, now that he's dead, I'm going to step over to the right. You can hear all the mobs walking over to the right to try to get to me. That only happens on that north platform. Now, normally I'd run directly over to the other platform, like I'm about to do. But considering I only started with 40 arrows, I'm going to need those arrows I shot into this guy back. And I'm going to upgrade my crossbow too, which is kind of cool. So I'm going to try to kite these mobs over to the left side to get them over as far as possible, and then do something really sketchy and run over to the other platform. You can hear the demon behind me. He's really angry. Alright, so this next part, we're just going to take care of the demon and all the mobs that are chilling right there. And it's basically just a cheese fest from here on out. I'm going to go ahead and just fire my bow off like a billion times and kill this demon. So order of operations is really important when navigating hell. I showed you to go to the north platform first to take out that archer, but if you don't have the capability of doing that, you have to run into the center and melee him. That is to say, if you're a melee character. As well, because the mobs won't actually approach the side of the cliff on the north platform, you have to run over to the east platform to get them to step up like this. And the blood down there burns. So you're going to have to kite the mobs down one by getting them to lunge and then melee them like this. Now, I mess up. I take a hit and I get a little bit scared, so I decide to stop showing that strat. But you can see that's kind of how it works. Should have been able to jump over that attack. I'm just not that good. So you can see I'm just going to go ahead and take out these other two mobs and then I will progress. Now, something that's really important to note, and I'm going to say this over and over and over again in my videos because even I forget sometimes and then I die to it, is anything with electricity on it. In hell, if you hit the electric part, it'll just reflect your damage back at you. So if I hit that shield, I'm dead. However, I'm very careful about it, and eventually he falls as well. Now, I'm not actually going to clear this room, but there's a wraith up top as well, and I think a couple of dogs or maybe a couple more skellies. It's really not that hard. You just kite things back down to the blood platform and you take them out with either melee or range and rinse and repeat. And there's a lion's mane at the top of this room. Basically free. This whole room is basically free as long as it's inside of the storm circle. So I'm just going to rest up, get some of my health back, and then I'm going to show you the room to the east. That's another one of my favorite rooms. Also a decently easy room to clear. It can get a little bit hairy though, especially if you have new players on your team or like somebody aggroes something in the wrong order. It can be kind of disgusting. Now this is hilarious. A spawn portal or an escape portal appears right next to me, and that almost never happens. But I'm going to go ahead and open that. I'm still just going to show you the room to the east. It's always a good idea to open these, just remember where they are, and then come back to the one that's open, running through the very not scary storm, because the storm doesn't even do that much damage in this game either. So yeah, just remembering where an escape portal is, and then just remembering how to get back to it is cool. So making the approach into this room from this side is really easy. I'm also going to talk about the strat when you approach from the other side or when you spawn in here, but when you come into this side, all you have to do is kill this archer. And now he is a black nightmare archer. So if I get hit, I'm dead. I mean, I'm pretty sure he always aims for the head. So, I mean, I'm just very careful about this fight. I can see the bow sticking out off the side every time he's about to shoot. I just wait for that to go away before I shoot and collapse him eventually. So when coming in from this side, as a ranged character, it's like one of the most easy things in the game. You go over and you stand on this praying thing's hands, and nothing in the room can figure out where you are because that's not a pathfindable spot, and you just start murdering everything. Now I'm going to talk about the other strat in just a second here, but you can see when you make the approach from here, if you just kill this demon real quick. Real quick. Like, really quick. Then eventually, you can actually drop down here. And this is kind of sketchy the way I do this, but there's this lever right here. I actually aggro both dogs on one side, and then when I step over here, I aggro the centaur, and then I almost fall off the platform, which is really sketchy. But you can get up the platform just by jumping up the clipping on my right side there. Now from here, you can just take out the rest of the mobs with range, and that's cool. However, if you're melee or you spawn here, go over there. That block right there is safe. Not that one. That one was a mistake. However, if you stand on that block that I shot the first time, nothing can hit you up there. The centaur can hit you when he does a sweeping attack, but all you have to do is jump, and he'll miss you. If you stand up on that block, you can bash everything in this room on the head with like a hammer or whatever of your choice, and it's another just free room. And you can see if we just take it slow, take it one enemy at a time, be logical about our decisions, we can make it out of hell easy. We got ourselves a quick 240 adventure points and some loot for my character, a little bit of pocket cash, and a little bit of equipment, which is cool. So, if you liked the video or you learned anything at all, please go ahead and consider supporting me by liking and subscribing down below. That's all it takes. I will be covering the other rooms in the other videos, and I hope to see you there. Now, just on a last note, since I didn't kill everything, I only hit level 4. But if you do this on normal and you kill every enemy, you can hit level 8, which I have verified. Anyway, thanks again for watching and have a great day.